Nobel laureate Amartya Sen has spoken out in support of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, who's been under attack of late by the opposition over his handling of the 2G spectrum auction. Amartya Sen has said that Manmohan Singh is a man of impeccable integrity.
So you're saying that the compulsions of realpolitik, in a way, makes you understand better why Dr. Manmohan Singh is Prime Minister as opposed to Dr. Manmohan Singh the person?
I don't know when he came to know what he came to know. I would have thought that, you see, there's a difference. I can be very irresponsible since I don't run a government. I don't run an enterprise. I don't even run a university. I used to run a college. I don't even run it now. So given that, if there's something which I want to do, I do it, because there's no restraint, nothing. Now, even when I was heading a college, like when I was Master of Trinity, when there would be a question asked about some, let's say, appointment, or some interview where some student, aspiring student, was asked a question which was thought to have been a harassment, let's say. Now, then when a question on this is asked, and if I know the fact, I know an immediate answer to that question. And it could be, yes, indeed, I'm sorry, it shouldn't have done, etc., and I'll try to take the action. But as master of the college, that's not the first response I can make. I have to first talk with the person involved. Is what I have true? That's fairness.
Yeah.
There is also the question of what the media reaction would be. The wealthiest college in England, what happened in an interview, etc. Now, I'm describing a hypothetical situation, slightly changed situation to one that actually happened. It's not exactly what that happened, but a similar situation. When that happens, you have to then take a collegial point of view. And I take it as someone who is heading something rather larger than Trinity College, namely India. He will have to then take a much wider view on that question. That I understand, and as a theorist. I don't know what he knew, when he knew it, and I don't even know whether he now in the prospect thinks that his judgment was right. I have often taken decisions, even when I was heading the college. When looking back, I said that wasn't the right judgment to take.
So you wouldn't judge him, in a sense, on the delay that many people perceive?
There will be three things I would be sure of in the case of the Prime Minister, and this is since I'm in a position to say something. I've known him for 60, not quite 60 years, but 50, between 50 and 60 years. And I think there's no question about an absolute impeccable integrity. Secondly, there's no question of striving to live in a world and make the world as honest and as open to the world as possible. Third, a person of responsibility who recognizes that what a person does as an individual is not necessarily the right thing to do as the head of a government. And I think these are the three things I would be looking at. And I'm pretty certain now that these are the things that would be the main parameters to consider in this case. The idea that somehow he is being investigated seems to me totally bizarre.
No, he's only been accused of inaction.
Yeah. And the idea, and if that,
looking the other way and allowing a corrupt minister to stay on office.
It may even turn out that he may even think that perhaps it was a wrong judgment, even as the head of the government, to take it. I don't believe there exists a person in this room who had never taken a wrong judgment in his life. But my guess is that there would have been fairly, because he's a reasoned man, I would have thought that there would have been a fairly substantial reasoning behind the timing of that event.